Hey everyone, today we're going to be doing an install of the Spec General Sheet Snakeskin tank pads. Now these come in a 7¼ by 13-inch sheet, but Spec does make a whole bunch of different kits for bikes out there, so go ahead and hop on their site, see if they make a kit for your bike already. My bike is a 2021 model that they haven't quite come out with a kit for yet, so that's why we're going to be doing the general sheet and making our own templates. If you don't want to make your own template, Spec does include actually a whole bunch of different cool shapes on pieces of paper with this kit that you can try to use if you don't want to come up with that yourself. Also, they include isopropyl wipes for cleaning your tank, stickers, essential, as well as the instructions are actually on the inside flap of the packaging. And all we're going to be using today is some dollar store masking tape. We're going to be using a lot of it, so you don't want to spend too much money. We're going to be using a marker, some old cardboard to make the template, a hairdryer, as well as a hobby knife and some scissors. To clean the tank, I'm just using the included alcohol wipe to make sure we get a good bond with our adhesive. Now we're going to make our template. Start off by sitting on the bike and see where your legs actually touch the tank. Now that we have an idea of where our tank pads are supposed to go, I'm going to start framing the area with our masking tape. When you fill in the body of your template, make sure you have enough overlap between each piece of tape that you put down. This will make it easier to take off later. After that, I'm putting one more piece of tape around the whole edge just to give myself some room to work with. Here we can see the material that we have to work with and our template are reasonably similar. If the template is too big, you may have to make it one smaller so that you can actually use your material. Now I'm going to take a marker and outline the corners of our template. Then I connected the corners of my template with a straight edge. And now it's time to remove our template. Take caution when taking the template off because it is tape and you might get it stuck to itself. But you should be able to take off all the masking tape in one go if you've layered it correctly. Now that we've got our template off the bike, we'll put it on a piece of cardboard and smooth it out to make sure there's no big wrinkles. Then we'll cut it out from our cardboard. I'm using a hobby knife, but you can use scissors or a box cutter or whatever you have available. After you've got the main body of the template out, you can clean up the edges and the corners. Now we're actually going to cut our tank pads out. Take your cardboard template and put it on the back of the tank pad material. I'm also going to label the top, bottom, and forward positions on our template because I know myself. Find a good position for the template on the material and then trace around the outside of the template with a marker. And now we're cutting out the template that we just traced. Now that we've got one side cut out, let's flip over our template and repeat the process for the other side. Once you've got both sides cut out, you can stack them on top of each other and trim any excess to make sure they're symmetrical. Now we're going to do a little bit more finishing and bevel the edges of our tank pads. Right now they're 90 degrees and kind of sharp and don't look super great. What we want to do is make them look more like the pads that come from Tech Spec themselves. They've just got kind of a nice beveled edge and are easier to do. So we'll take our hobby knife and cut at an angle to make sure that we get something reasonably straight. Tech specs say to use an angle grinder to do this, but I'm using a popsicle stick with some sandpaper on it to smooth out the cut. Once we've beveled all the edges, now it's time to actually apply our tank pads. I'm starting by heating the tank pads with the hairdryer set on low. Make sure you fan out the heat evenly and don't hover in one place too long. You don't want to melt anything. And then before I actually put on the pad, I outlined the area that I wanted it to go with some more masking tape just to make sure that I had it lined up correctly. Then we're going to start from one end by peeling off the backing and going from right to left to make sure we have no air bubbles in the pad. Now we'll repeat the process for the center tank pad as well as the other side.